Hola, mi nombre es Salvador. Dexter, el títere de Spencer Horseman, se ha perdido. Si usted tiene alguna información o sabe dónde está, por favor llame al 954-2711, área 213. Llame ahora antes que sea demasiado tarde.
I just feel sometimes like smashing crockery.
I've rarely had somebody come on television tell me they were planning on killing somebody.
You don't raise your hand up to the woman's breast too easily.
Hey, look at me, I'm Mark Man. Hi, I'm John Henson, and this is Talk Soup. If we were any more lowbrow, you'd get the bands. Well, Disney was good enough to send us a bunch of puppets and action figures from their new movie, Hunchback of Notre Dame, opened last Friday. Huge film, colossal box office blockbuster. These people crank out hits the way Sarah Lee cranks out brownies. And at the request of one of our staffers, we wanted to try a body double with one of the characters from the show. Here is Quasimodo from Hunchback and our own head writer, Brad Giori. Hey, it's a man. Yeah, I thought he walked funny. Also, before we get the show started, just a quick mention. It is field producer Jeff Zimmer's birthday today. All right, happy birthday. There he is, this suave, debonair man in action. Actor, director, writer, field producer extraordinaire. He's Jeff Zimmer, the feel-good staffer of the year. All right. Happy birthday, Jeff. Coming up on today's show, John Davidson shares his new hair with the world. Cooking salmon in the dishwasher, and Jim, Jay, and Ann get a whole lot closer.
Come here, baby.
Oh, you keep that up, you're going to have a little spin-off. First up, I'm going to have to lead you through this Sally highlight one step at a time, so bear with me. Okay, for starters, Denise is married to a young man by the name of Jeff. Jeff's sister is named Kenitha, and as fate would have it, Kenitha has begun dating Denise's father, a man who's 28 years older than she is. And if the two of them get married, Kenitha will be Denise's mother-in-law as well as her sister-in-law. Okay, take a few deep breaths. Be one with that? Okay. Oh, and by the way, did I tell you that Kenitha tried to have her last husband killed for his insurance money? She did.
Did you try to kill your first husband?
I was planning on it.
I've rarely had somebody come on television tell me they were planning on killing somebody. You want to tell me about it? Wait. Let her explain to me why you were planning to kill your husband.
For some money.
For some money?
Yeah.
Can you explain what you mean by money?
Yeah, it's life insurance on him, so I was going to take it.
She just married him for his money in the first place. She chased him with a butcher knife. I saw her chase him with a butcher knife before.
So what's wrong with that?
Wait.
I'm going to kill my dad.
Kenitha, let me understand something. You married this man and you had an insurance policy, and you're telling me that you honestly planned on killing him?
Yeah, but it backfired.
Outstanding clip! We got a May-December romance, squabbling in-laws, and a murder confession all rolled into one highlight. What more could you ask for?
Kenitha, you have an announcement to make. Now's your chance.
I got two things to say to you, Denise. I'm pregnant, and it's by your father.
Whoa! My God, I didn't even think about that. You gotta keep your options open. Thursday on Sally, you get to know some controlling husbands. That is, if your husband allows you to watch TV. Well, it's tough enough having your child return home at the age of 32. But if he still hasn't learned to clean up after himself, please, it's time to call the Marilyn Kagan Show. That's exactly what Doris did. Here she is confronting her boomerang son, Darren, about his slovenly behavior. Let's see if he takes the message to heart, or if he comes up with some clever excuse for his actions.
Well, like, say, for instance, when he eats, he makes up these concoctions on the stove, and it goes everywhere. When I say everywhere, it's everywhere.
You just want him to clean up after himself.
himself.
A hot stove. How did they clean up on a hot stove?
I wipe a hot stove off.
Hey, you know what? The issues aren't the hot stove. The issues are there's a 32-year-old young man here living off of his mother and making a mess of it as he's doing that, and you're letting it happen.
Well, I'm constantly complaining because, see, number one, he's not the only one there.
You have other family members?
I have other family members. In fact, my daughter, now you talk about come home, my daughter, she's 30, but she has an illness.
Okay, so maybe that's okay. All right.
But with
Darren
him,
doesn't have an illness. He looks pretty healthy to me. Darren, let me ask you before we go to a break, do you feel like that somehow that you're above it all, that you really shouldn't clean up and take care of things, and that you're there because you're God's gift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's God's gift? Man, hope God saved the receipt, because he's going back. I don't think he's the right size. Thursday on Maryland, I've been used and abused, and I'm not going to take it anymore. These guests are tired of feeling like suckers. They're going to appear on national television and air all their dirty laundry for free. That's shrewd. Well, it's hard to believe, but cemetery fraud is a growing problem in this country. In Maryland, one woman has made it her mission to watch out for the rights of the dead and their families. Her name is Carolyn Jacoby, and she founded Eternal Justice, an organization that seeks to uncover fraudulent burials. Here's CBS This Morning reporter Hattie Kaufman with more.
For some of those unfortunate enough to lose loved ones, self-styled cemetery watchdog Carolyn Jacoby is often the bearer of more bad tidings.
I want you to take that and thump it for me, please. Just tell me what you feel. There's something solid to you. It's too high. It's too close to the top of the ground.
Jacoby's probe might mean there are two caskets in one gravesite.
No, it's nobody supposed to be there but my sister. It doesn't feel very good. It really doesn't. I feel actually betrayed. It hurts to think that either somebody else is there with her or she's there with someone else when she was supposed to be there by herself.
Carolyn says it's not uncommon for cemeteries to remove old tombstones and begin stacking bodies in order to conserve space, which means you and your loved ones could wind up bunking with a stranger for eternity. That's no good, you know. What if they snore? Okay, Thursday on CBS This Morning, he's Burt Reynolds and he's starring in the new comedy Striptease. He's the one with his clothes on. We're hoping. Still ahead on Talk Soup, Gordon Elliott goes on a crockery smashing rampage. He's smashing crockery! Cool! And John Davidson lets his hair go gray. But first, the Talk Soup regular gets poked by a professional.
They're very small. They're very, very small. They're sterilized.
They don't,
all acupuncturists use sterilizing.
and they don't cause bleeding.
Not usually.
Dexter's still missing, folks, and please, God, if you've seen him, call 213-954-2711. We need to find that dummy.
I have spotted Dexter. Dexter is on John Henson's mother's front porch, drinking 40s and smoking weed.
Wait a minute. Let's be fair. That could be any number of dummies on my mom's front porch. Hey, when you got hair like John Davidson, you don't need a TV show. Duh. The former star of The Girl with Something Extra is currently on Broadway, starring in a revival of the popular musical State Fair. Here he is telling Conan O'Brien how he changed his looks for the role, even though it meant letting his trademark do go gray.
Now listen, I want to ask you about something because I came at the top of the show, and this is true, you're my hair hero. Can't everybody see the similarities at all? Look at it. He was my... Look, you've got, doesn't he? He's got really cool hair. That was a big mistake, John.
What is hair? Hair is not important.
What?
Hair doesn't matter.
Now what are you talking about? That's all I've got, man. What are you talking about? I got the hair. My baby.
I have died for 15 years.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
For 15 years, I have colored my hair. I've always admitted that, even when I was coloring it. I was trying to look like Dick Clark. For 15 years, I've tried to look like Dick Clark.
Why were you trying to look like Dick Clark?
Because he's a great-looking man.
What? John Davidson is attracted to Dick Clark?
That's incredible. And he has a skunk spot just like you, Johnny boy. That's incredible. Did you know he once posed nude for Cosmo?
That's incredible. And he used to host a top-rated TV show called... what was it? I almost had it. It was...
America something?
No, was it Real People? He was on The Love Boat a bunch of times.
Fran Tarkenton was in it, wasn't it?
All right, yeah, Fran Tarkenton was definitely in it. Friday, Conan chats with Harold Ramis. He directed the new movie Multiplicity, starring Michael Keaton and Michael Keaton and Michael Keaton and... Oh, you get the picture. Hey, who wants to see some lady stick needles into Lisa Gibbons? I do! Okay, all right, but you got to settle down and pay attention. After all, how else are you going to learn about the wonderful art of acupuncture? If there are any sadists watching, I hate to disappoint you, but the procedure you're about to witness is virtually pain-free.
Now, where are we going to put it? Just as a little demo here.
I won't make you undress.
Well, no.
Ratings.
Yeah. But Kelly would like to.
Let me just...
So they're really, they're very small.
They're very, very small. They're sterilized. All acupuncturists use sterilized needles.
They don't cause bleeding.
Not usually.
This is the proof to show you that it doesn't hurt, audience. Now, I'm going to do this in just a minute with one of my associate producers who's needle phobic.
This point of all of the points on the body is more sensitive than other points. But
thank you for that.
It is also the most accessible.
All right, well, we're going to have Wendy do this when we come back.
That's it.
I can tell you feel absolutely nothing.
Janet says that doctors have been using acupuncture for over 2,000 years, and still to this day, nobody knows why. Okay. That's incredible! That's the name of the show John Davidson on. That's
No, it's not.
No? It wasn't That's Incredible? I was sure it was That's Incredible. Was it the Byron Allen Show? Did he host the Byron Allen Show?
No, somebody else.
That's another guy?
Yeah.
Melanie had a frightening premonition during a long-distance train ride with her 3-year-old nephew. Within seconds, she was wrapping the both of them in blankets and pillows. 10 minutes later, the train derailed and flew off a bridge, crashing into a muddy bayou below. 47 people died in that crash, but thanks to her premonition, Melanie and her young nephew lived to tell the tale on the Mark Wahlberg Show.
I had a premonition. As soon as I got on the train, I was real leery, and I just knew that the train was going to crash. So I prepared myself for this train crash and the baby.
In the middle of the night on the train, you got them all ready?
Right, in the middle of the night. And 10 minutes after the premonition, I prepared us for the train crash. It crashed. The train went off the bridge. Mine jackknifed and went into the water, the bayous. I didn't know at the time where I was because I was all jumble-mumble and everybody was thrown all over the place.
Well, after the train came to a stop, I mean, it must have been just a horrible crash.
Dead impact. Dead impact.
And then
we went flying.
What was it like the moment the train stopped?
I didn't know where I was and what was happening. It was just really scary.
Yeah.
And then when I realized the water was coming up, I knew I had to get out. And
you wrecked into the bayou, so water was coming into the train.
Right.
How did you prepare Robbie for this wreck? You said you prepared both of you.
I took the pillow and I laid it on the chair, put Robbie on his stomach, wrapped him in a blanket. I took the pillow, put it up against my chest, wrapped myself in it, and 10 minutes later we crashed, which helped prevented us from breaking bones like everybody had broke bones.
So neither of you had any broken bones?
No broke bones, just beat up a lot, real sore.
After the crash, Melanie was very disoriented. At first, she couldn't find Robbie, but after she did find him, she helped other passengers escape out an open window. Thursday on Mark, we used to be best buds, now we're mortal enemies. I don't know what happened, all I know is it's your fault. I sense you're not yet satisfied. Not to worry, we got more clips ahead, including Gordon Elliott screaming his head off in the name of science. And after this break, talk show hosts need hugs, not drugs. Or perhaps some of both. Where cable access and community theater have a head-on collision, this is Talk Soup. I'm John Henson.
Hey, skunk boy, we're here to audition for the new part.
Yeah, we heard they're looking for some fill-in dummies now that Dexter is missing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to take that up with Spencer Horseman.
Well, we're pros, you know.
Oh, yeah. Seen your sock around? I used to work with him at the Chuck McCann Dinner Theater in Big Fork, Montana.
Actually, he doesn't get in until late.
No, just like that sock.
What? Well, tell him we said hi anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, let's walk by Julie Brown's dressing room and see if she's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wanna come with us?
Okay, no, you guys go right on ahead.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And scene. Oh my God, you guys are so pathetic. There are experts on everything these days, and invariably, they all end up making the talk show rounds. Take William Kane, for example. This guy has written a book titled The Art of Hugging. Originally, it was going to be a 12-part set, but somehow he managed to cram all of that vital info into one slim volume. Here he is showing Jim, Jay, and Ann the difference between a grope, a goose, and a friendly how-do-you-do hug.
The chief variation on it is the back-to-front hug, where if Ann would turn her back to the guy, and he gently caresses her like that from back. And you don't raise your hand up to the woman's breast too easily in the hug, because a lot of women think it's not romantic if yes, just like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
like this.
exactly like that.
That's very acceptable. Now you say that men and women have different kinds of reasons for hugging? Or?
They have definite.
You can let go or what?
There's a sex-based difference. For example, a lot of women think hugs should remain romantic, and they don't like a guy to cup their buttocks during a hug.
I wouldn't. Well,
that's a sex-based difference.
That depends on where you are.
Some of the hugs described in William Cain's book: the heart-to-heart hug, the love hug, the A-frame hug, and the dreaded I'm pressing charges hug.
Yes, now you're getting into it.
That's it. That's the I'm pressing charges hug right there. You're going to pay for that, mister. And scene. Thursday on Jim, Jay, and Ann, you're finally going to learn how to program that VCR of yours. Handyman Kaz Eisner will be dropping by to show you how. Take notes this time. It's not as hard as it looks. Kaz will make it easy for you. Kaz. This morning, it suddenly dawned on me, we haven't featured a single cooking segment in weeks now. So ashamed. How did we ever venture so far afield from the type of programming we do best? Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this clip from the Crook and Chase show. If you've ever wondered how to cook a 9-pound salmon in a large piece of tinfoil, buddy, you're in luck.
You took one stick and just kind of sliced it right down the middle, okay?
Man,
you
oh,
want
man.
to put that right there on that end.
It'll be a little less healthy this way, folks.
That almost came out his mouth. Look at that. Well, it did.
Okay. Now hurry up, Charlie, because we have to wrap this sucker up.
Okay.
And then put in some of this, what's supposed to be parsley. It doesn't look like it. That's dill.
This is dill?
Okay.
We found it growing out next to the building. Thought we'd bring it in and use it. We didn't know what it was.
Well, we left out the parsley. We're supposed to have a 4th cup of fresh parsley to put in there. But that's all right. This will do.
Now, we got all that done. Now, what you might want to do...
This is very important, though. Oh, to be decorative.
Sure. Well, it also adds to the flavor on the outside as well. Okay?
Ah, good idea, Charlie.
Just put a few like that.
You are just so handy in the kitchen.
Ta-da-da!
Hey, I was pretty impressed with Charlie myself, but unfortunately, it didn't last very long.
Just use the top rack, and what we're going to do is put in one cycle, and look at that.
One cycle
He's got a big tail
wash
there.
and one cycle of rinse.
Yeah. Get in there, boy. Come on.
Well, don't hear it. Okay. Put it in.
Now, before we do that, you got to get a little bit of this
No,
casting.
you don't.
You got to get the smell off somehow, that fish.
Believe it or not, that method of cooking salmon actually works. It was discovered by Tico Torres, a member of the rock group Bon Jovi. Wow, how wasted do you have to be? How big are your case of munchies when you go, hey, guys, what do you say we put a 9-pound salmon in the dishwasher? Thursday on Crook and Chase, entertainment reporter Jimmy Carter and his 12-year-old daughter will be reviewing the new summer children's films. Wow, didn't he used to be president? Wasn't he? He hosted That's Incredible. Or was it the Byron Allen Show? Well, our soup of the day is just around the corner. When we return, Demolition Gordon goes on a tear.
It feels sometimes like smashing crockery. Don't you ever just want to release yourself?
Hello, this is Nurse Kara Howard from Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, and we have a patient in our hospital that we believe fits your description of Dexter. Yes, he was admitted because he has termites in his cecum.
Oh,
Thank you.
no, termites in the cecum. They're going to have to set up one of those big tents around him and gas him out. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to fumigate Dexter. Gordon Elliott must have a little Greek blood in him. Just look at him smashing plates in the following highlight. He's like an old pro. Joining Gordon on stage are a few stressed-out guests and Dr. Ruth Belgakashker thing. She's written a book titled A Bride's Guide to Emotional Survival. She believes people should get in touch with their primal urges in order to feel better about themselves. And from the looks of things, Gordon has no problem doing that.
What about that primal scream therapy? I want to get a little bit of our audience. You're watching at home. I've always wanted to do this, and I've never been able to. You have some primal screaming, it'll make you feel better. Okay? You want to do this? So instruct us, because while you're doing the primal screaming, I'm also going to be throwing plates out the window, okay?
Okay.
I just feel sometimes like smashing crockery. Don't you ever just want to relieve yourself and just do that? Then you want to...
stressed out,
Okay.
it gets locked in your body.
All right. Ready? Ready?
Ready?
Yeah. Come on, scream.
Okay.
I feel good.
Looks like fun, huh? Of course, after a long, hard day of crockery smashing, there's really only one way to unwind.
And you know, I know that everybody likes to occasionally end the day with a warm bath. Well, I am no different here, and you know, I like to get into the bubbles.
Geez, Gordon, don't kid around like that. I don't think that mic is grounded. Oh, no! Well, only one thing to do now. Wrap them in tinfoil, throw them in the dishwasher. Might as well cook them and eat them.
Good idea.
Don't want to let them go to waste. Tomorrow on Talk Soup, a junior fashion critic apologizes to his sister.
I love you so much that I can't see you go. That's why I'm here on the show. I love you and I'm sorry for calling you a hoe.
Oh, he stole that line from Walt Whitman, little plagiarist. Anyway, that's it for this edition of Talk Soup. I have no more to give. Keep an eye out for Dexter. See you next time.
Yeah, I found Dexter in Central Park. He'd resorted to cannibalism and he was eating a tree. Thanks a lot.
Dexter's here. I got him. I got Dexter. I got him.
I just saw Dexter with Pinocchio and Howdy Doody. They're drinking Zima and plotting to assassinate the president.
Yeah, I think I've seen Dexter. He's back here in Michigan. I saw him getting into a van with Jack Kevorkian with a box full of carpenter ants.
All right, this is a song for Dexter because, you know, we missed the guy. Ready? Do-do-do Dexter.
Dexter.
Do-do-do Dexter. Do-do-do Dexter.
Oh, Dexter.